Hi everyone, very good evening. So welcome to the first session on generative AI. Please confirm whether you are able to hear my voice clearly or not, and you're able to see my screen because I feel there is some technical glitch from my side.
Good
Yes,
evening, sir.
it's clear, sir.
Sir, you are audible.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, yeah. So let us start the session. Before that, let me just introduce myself. Um this is Naveen, and uh, I have overall 9+ years of experience, and all these 9 years, 9.3 years to keep it specific. And I have been working as a AI specialist in a banking domain, product-based company. And teaching generative AI is a part-time thing that I usually do, and I have taught more than 300 plus students till today. And this particular program, right, so this is about advanced generative AI and agentic AI program, right? So it spans over 3.5 months, and the timing being so 9 to 10, right? So you can check with the admin, so they'll give more clarity on it. Okay, so today I just want to keep things light. So I won't be going much detailed into the concept. However, I'll just introduce to the terms that are involved as part of artificial intelligence. All right. So let us start the session. And yeah, as you can see my screen, the slide, right? So a human hand reaching out and a robotic hand, it is responding. So this beautifully represents the world we live in today. Actually, yeah, we are interacting with the AI in many ways, right? So a world where human intelligence and artificial intelligence are coming together, right? So our journey in this particular session, at least for this first demo session, is to understand this partnership and how machines are learning to think, learn, and even create something alongside us, right? So let us just explore on the that instead of going much detailed into the concept. All right. Yeah. So before we dive into artificial intelligence, or what is this generative AI, what is this machine learning, what is this deep learning, right? And how are they able to create something, right? So before that, let us have, or let us pause and understand how human intelligence first. Okay. So how do humans learn? How do humans learn? Humans learn by observing the world around us, right? And experiencing life and connecting emotions and logic. Okay, so we imagine, we innovate, and we apply what we have learned to solve new problems. And that's the true art of human intelligence. Okay, so you can just have a look at the points that I have kept over here. So we learn from the experiences, emotions, and context, and we imagine, innovate, and create entirely new ideas, right? So we use logic, emotions, ethics, and intuition. And of course, we make lots of calculations, but they will be little bit slower. Okay, so we make calculations, and we understand any concept in an in-depth manner. However, if you simply ask me what is 12 cube into 12 cube, or 12 power 5 into 12 power 5, so I cannot answer that in an instant, right? I'll take some time and I'll calculate and I'll come back, right? So that is one of the few advantages, or few of the disadvantages as well. We can call it as a disadvantage, but you can also call it as advantage as well. Okay, you will understand why. Okay, but if coming to the any topic, we will understand it better. Okay, so the more you study a concept, the more you will learn it. All right, so this is all about human intelligence. Okay, so before we understand this artificial intelligence, let us just have a look at this human intelligence, and I hope you understood how we learn. Okay, this is just a one way of answering. Of course you can answer this in a different ways, but still, yeah. And then let's talk about artificial intelligence, right? So before we learn anything about generative AI. So generative is one term and AI is the other term. So we are at the point of understanding what this AI is all about. What is this artificial intelligence? Okay. So here you can see, here you can see the machine's way of learning, right? So unlike us, machines learn from data and patterns. Okay. Machines learn from data and patterns using algorithms, and also they decide um, by checking the probability, right? So they can process information incredibly fast, but they still lack the depth of understanding and creativity that humans bring naturally, right? So this is one way of saying what this artificial intelligence is all about. You can have a look at this particular point. Artificial intelligence systems are nothing but the systems which learns from data and identify the patterns in it, okay, and generates based on existing data patterns. So uses some kind of algorithms, we can also call them as models, right? We can also call them as uh, the models or algorithms or techniques or whatever, right? And then using the probability they will find whether i will have to I will have to identify what is correct and what is wrong, right? So that is how. And optimization, so they apply some kind of optimization by looking at the data. Of course we do that, but still you have to do, or you have to optimize the model to understand better. Okay, see the basic difference, right? I was telling on the human intelligence and artificial intelligence, hope you understand it. So one of the major advantage of artificial intelligence is this thing: very fast processing, but lacks true understanding and all. Of course, there are many disadvantages of artificial intelligence. You can also say that um, even humans have lots of disadvantages when compared to in a machine, right? So it is one way of answering things. Okay, I just kept a very light information on this artificial intelligence and human intelligence. Okay, yeah. So they are very fast but lacks true understanding. Okay, and you will learn it during the course and all. You will learn how a model learns, how a machine learns, and how it applies things and all. From the deep learning or from the machine learning concept itself, you will understand things better. So how things are happening inside. Okay, now let us have a look at this particular side. What is artificial intelligence? See, AI is a broader field. It's like the big umbrella that covers everything where machines try to act smart. Okay, so let us just have a look at this definition: the study and development of computer systems capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision making, language translation, etc. Whatnot. And if you look at this thing, four key capabilities: perception, reasoning, learning, and decision making, right? So these are the major capabilities of humans as well. And nowadays, even the machines are able to have that capability, right? Perception, seeing or hearing; reasoning, logic or rules, right? So it understands the logic, and if we set some rules on it, it applies those rules and then performs any tasks. And then adopt from the data, so which is nothing but learning. You will understand why I'm talking about data and all. You will understand when we go into the concepts, but for now, learning is nothing but learning from the data. Okay, and then decision making, I need not to say. Of course you are using chat gpt or any other large language model, right? So application like a claude, perplexity, or whatever, gemini, etc. Okay, so this is a basic understanding of what artificial intelligence, and this is the definition of it. Okay, this is the definition of it. So if you do not understand that, I have kept what is artificial intelligence in simple terms. Okay, AI is when machines think and act like humans. It can learn, solve problems, and make decisions. Okay, so this is a simple understanding on AI. Okay, AI is when machines think and act like humans, right? And you can have a look at this particular diagram where I kept artificial intelligence at the top, and it is the broadest field. And then you have subfields: machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI. These are all subfields. Okay, machine learning being the largest subfield, and deep learning is a subfield of machine learning again. Generative AI is a subfield of deep learning again. Okay, so to tell you simply, artificial intelligence is a broadest term or a domain, and underneath it, it has lots of subfields. Okay, machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI. Right? You will understand what is the relationship between machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI in the next slides itself. Okay. Yeah. Today I just want to keep things light. That's the reason I'm not writing anything on the board. Okay. So I can simply write over here and explain you. But today, being the first demo session, I just want to keep things light. So I'm going to use the PPT slides as well. Of course, I'll explain the concepts, or I'll show the concept in the PPT slide, and then I'll write things over here to make you understand the concept better. Okay, in our regular classes and all. Right. So I hope you understood it. See, when I say about artificial intelligence, one thing comes into your mind is, oh, artificial intelligence. I do not know or about this artificial intelligence. So you would have seen a lot of sci-fi movies, and you will get the same thought. Okay, so it might be of self-driving cars, or these kind of robots that you are seeing in IPL nowadays, and coding simulations, and what artificial intelligence is entering into any field, every field. Okay, so you will get the same idea, like what artificial intelligence means. You will think like this, and you might think that the concept of AI is very difficult. So just to tell you, AI is very easy if you understand it in a sequential way. Okay, in a proper way, if you can understand the concept, it is the most easiest concept. Okay, artificial intelligence or generative AI, these two, I mean generative AI, it is very easy. Okay, but you need to understand deep learning better. Okay, and then you'll have to understand the transformers, you have to understand how the large language models work, and langchain, llama index, rag, and then whatnot. So like this the concept goes, but each and every concept is linked with each other. Okay, yeah. So I have shown you one slide where you were looking at some kind of self-driving cars or whatever, right? But so if you think artificial intelligence or applications are limited to those, not at all. AI applications, or we regularly using those kind of applications in our day-to-day life. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say. These kind of things, whatever you're looking over here. So the first one is a Gmail. See, whenever you get some kind of email, right? Email, so it will be automatically segregated and moved to those specific folders. For example, you have a spam email, right? So the spam email will be directly directed towards this spam folder. And then if it is a social, like a Facebook, Instagram, any kind of information, it goes into social. And if you have some kind of updates or promotions or whatever, they will be segregated automatically, right? So some kind of algorithm, some kind of model is already working behind this Gmail. That is the reason these emails are segregating by themselves. Okay, automatically. That kind of model is nothing but a machine learning model, or this particular platform would have used the deep learning model as well. Okay, we are not sure about it, but ultimately it is an AI model. Okay, AI model that is making our tasks very easier. Okay, and of course on the second one you can see Flipkart, like Flipkart or Amazon, or in that matter any product based or any e-commerce website you have. So if you are going to buy one product, right, or if you are looking at one product, automatically when you open that particular app, again you will see recommended items over there. Okay, so based on your interest, your interface is happening. This is again happening due to the model, or it may be a machine learning model or deep learning model that is doing its work. Okay, so that's what. And then look at the third one. It is a Google Maps, and here you can see the distance. Okay, distance from one location to the other, and it will show a red path where it finds a lot of traffic and all, right? So this is how things are. Okay, all these tasks whatever I kept over here, these are all AI applications that we are using regularly, right? So do not think that AI is limited to self-driving cars or whatever. All these are AI applications, but these might be coming as ML application or deep learning application or generative AI application or whatever, right? So yeah, let's move to the next slide. And of course, here you can see the face unlock feature that your phone is mobile is having. There the face detection is happening, and how it is happening. So there should be some kind of net technique that is happening inside your phone. Okay, so that will be explained by the computer vision concept. Okay, how the patterns of face will be detected, and so based on the probability, your mobile itself it finds whether you are the right person unlocking or you are some different person. Okay, so this kind of technique is a DL model technique. Okay, or a DL model is working inside your application. That's the reason it is able to detect your face. Okay, so here also this is an AI application, and in the Facebook, for example, if you are posting a photo and you tagged one of your friends, okay, and in the next time, or if you have some hundreds of photos, your Facebook platform itself, it will detect whether that person is available in the other photos or not. It will automatically tag that particular person, auto tagging feature, right? So this is also part of your AI application itself, right? And then we have this speech virtual AI assistants. Okay, speech assistants. Okay, so like chat GPT, that voice mode, or Gemini live mode, or even you have this perplexity. So there you have voice modes, right? So how these are all happening? So that is because of AI working underneath it. Okay, so let us understand the AI ecosystem. Okay, AI ecosystem. So the broadest field you have over here is artificial intelligence. Okay, and this that is a broader field. It's like the big umbrella that covers everything, where machines try to act smart or act in such a way that they mimic human intelligence, right? So nowadays it is surpassing the human intelligence itself. Okay, so AI is that broader field, and inside that we have machine learning, which is a smaller part, and it's one way through which AI learns from data. Okay, and then deep learning, we have deep learning is an even smaller part within ML, and at the very core sits a generative AI, which is a part of deep learning, focused on creating new things. Okay, so deep learning is a subfield of machine learning, and generative AI is a subfield of deep learning once again. Okay, yeah. And on the right side, you can have a look at this particular person. He is Geoffrey Everest Hinton, and he is called as the godfather of artificial intelligence. Okay, and because of him only, right? So he made lots of huge contributions on deep learning specifically. Okay, and as you know, deep learning is again kind of father like a generative AI. So you can say like a generative AI, whatever the applications you are having. So those are also made by this particular person. Okay, Joffrey. That's the reason I kept his photo over here. All right. So this is some simple slide I have kept over here just to show you the evolution of AI, ML, deep learning, and generative AI. Okay, so it all started in 1950. It all started in 1950, and so this was the time people usually say the foundations of AI were created, and you can have a look at it, foundation of AI thinking and all. Okay, and 1956, this is the time when John McCarthy, he coined the term artificial intelligence, okay, in one of the conferences. 1997, something happened. You can have a look at here. IBM Deep Blue, right? So it's an algorithm. It defeated a chess champion, world champion, Gary Kasparov in 1997 itself. Okay, so it defeated the world champion, world chess champion. So which is a major milestone, and people did not expect that at all during that time, right? And 2000s, you can see rise of machine learning with big data and statistical models. And then we have this deep learning 2012 deep learning breakthrough, and Geoffrey Hinton's team wins ImageNet competition with neural networks. Okay, and 2017 Google introduced transformers, and which changed the way we look at AI. Okay, so after 2017 only we saw lots of contributions or lots of applications on artificial intelligence. So if you are using chat GPT today, and it has a number of LLMs like GPT 404, 3.55, etc. All those LLMs are internally created by transformers itself. So this is the biggest historical moment of entire artificial intelligence. Okay, of course these are also important, but this changed the way we look at artificial intelligence, and this was the time we understood that we can create. I mean, the future will be brighter, and AI can make it. AI will have some significant contribution in it. Okay, so that was the time people realized it. And 2020, right? So 2018 and all, we had lots of GPT BERT T5 kind of models. All right. And 2020, so rise of generative AI with GPT-3 and large scale models, it happened. And 23, so you can see 2022 November time, that was the time chat GPT was unveiled by this OpenAI company, and you can have a look at it. Okay. So, before we go to any other concept, I hope you have got some basic understanding on this artificial intelligence, right? And let us move to this machine learning. All right, machine learning. See, what is machine learning? You can have a look at the definition. Machine learning is a subset of AI that enables computers to learn from data and improve their performance without being explicitly programmed. Okay, so what does it mean actually? What does it mean? Let me just see. Machine learning is a subset of AI that enables computers to learn from data and improve their performance without explicitly programmed. What does it mean by learning from data? See, for example, you have a data of your company's employees. Okay, so employee, let's say experience, and employee salary. Okay, so you are HR of a company, and you usually recruit people. Okay, and you have the data set of your employees. Okay, let's say some thousands of employees you have in the company, and you have all of this data set. Okay, so for example, for 2 years of experience, this person is getting some 6 lakh, and 4 years of experience is getting some 7.5 lakh rupees. Some 6 years of experience is getting some 8 lakh rupees, something like that. Let us take like this. Okay, so as a HR, you have to recruit new people into your company, and there is a person with a 4.5 years of experience, and he cleared the interview. Okay, let's say some first round, second round, and all, and now he is at a point where he needs to discuss the salary with the HR. Okay, so the HR should have some amount in his mind, right? So before he off has to offer something, he has to have something in his mind, okay, to predict. Okay, so what he'll do is that he will send this particular data to any of the model, let's say like ML model, like like some thousands of samples, thousands of training examples he'll send. And this particular ML model, what it will do is that it will learn from the data. It will learn from the data. Okay. So with the 2 years of experience, there is a person with 6 lakh of salary, and 4 years of experience, there is a 7.5 lakh salary, and 6 years, so this much. So like that, your ML model will learn. And if you have this 4.5 years of experience guy, it will automatically predict for this much years of experience how much can be the salary. It will predict it. So how does it predict? Let us say this particular employee years of experience. See, this is an independent variable, and this is a dependent variable, right? This is an independent variable and this is a dependent variable. And now your ML model, what internally will do is that it finds a relationship between this independent and dependent variable. It is finding the relationship between years of experience and the salary. Okay, it finds a relationship between that by learning from the data, and then it will finally predict. Okay, so this is about the first point, learning from the data. And improves over time. What does it mean? See, let us say you have only thousands of records here in this employee experience and employee salary. Okay, so only thousand. So this particular person here, 4.5 years of experience, if your model is not able to predict correctly, how does it, how can it predict correctly? By sending more data to it. Instead of 1000 samples, what you do is you send 2000 samples, or 3000, or 4000, or whatever. Okay. So when you send this kind of samples to your ML model, it learns better, right? It learns better. Okay. So like this, you have to feed the data again and again if required, if it is required, and then it improves over time. So this first time it might give some 95% correct answers, and this time after training, right, it might give some 96%, and this time it might give some 98%. So it improves over time. That is nothing but this particular point. All right. So what is machine learning again? Machine learning is a subset of AI that you already know, that enables computers to learn from the data and improve their performance without being explicitly programmed. What does this mean again? Explicitly programmed means you need not to give the scenario each time, like 4 and 6 if you have in the training samples. You will not be giving 4.5 years of experience or 5 years of experience here, right? You will not even give the predicted salaries, or you know a salary which you have in your mind. Okay. So without being explicitly programmed means you need not to give the data for each and every sample. It will learn the relationships, and it will automatically decide what should be the salary. Okay. So that way, without being explicitly programmed, you need not to put your finger every time. Your ML model itself will learn things, and it can easily do or perform the tasks. Okay. Yeah. So that's what your machine learning is all about. See, I have one simple example over here. Just have a look at this. So this particular example is a automatic classification. Let us say you have spam and non-spam emails. Spam and non-spam emails. So some kind of spam information, right? So like hooray, click on this particular link, congratulations, you earned a reward, and you click on this link, and claim your reward. So you earned 1 lakh rupees, right? So like that, you will be getting some lots of phishing emails each and every day, right? So those are all kind of spam emails. Or non-spam emails are those which we have daily conversation with our employees, or any official information or a legitimate information. All right. So those are non-spam emails, right? So let this animation run. So usually I keep these kind of animations in my classes because that way I make the complex topics much easier. Okay, so that is a reason. See, you are getting some hundreds of emails like this. Okay, every day emails arrive in your inbox from around the world and all, right? So those emails, some of them can be spam or non-spam. See, machine learning enables computers to learn from pattern from the data and make intelligent decisions. See, this is urgent, claim your price is a spam. Make money fast, click here, spam. Meet tomorrow at 3 a.m. Weekly project update. So these are all the daily tasks that we usually do in our company, right? So your machine learning model, what it does is that it will take up the data and it finds the patterns. Okay, hooray, this word, if email has this particular word, you tag it as spam. So something like that. Click on this link, you tag that as spam. Okay, so limited time offer and also the same example, machine learning example and all. Okay, so machine learning is all about it learns from the data and find the patterns and do the task. Like that, we have lots of applications of machine learning and you can have a look at it. Email spam filtering and fraud detection in banking, customer churn prediction, whether a subscriber is going to unsubscribe or will be active today or tomorrow, something like that. Okay, so for example, you are running some telecom company like Airtel or any other company, and you would like to know who and all is going to take up some other network instead of Airtel. Okay, so who wants to unsubscribe from this particular service, unsubscribe, right? And who will be your active customers, and they are satisfied with your network and they'll be staying with you. So like that, we have to make some kind of predictions. So that is nothing but customer churn prediction, right? Stock price, weather forecasting, recommendation systems, and this and this. All right, so these are all applications of machine learning itself. Now, see, machine learning, if we talk about this particular concept or a field, right? So we usually this particular field is divided into some four subfields again. Okay, I mean these are all the major topics of machine learning. So uh, if you're calling yourself as a machine learning engineer, so you know all these concepts and the methods or techniques involved in each of them. All right. So in supervised learning you have lots of techniques, and among those techniques you have one more technique called neural network, all right. And as we are going to understand how this deep learning has emerged, deep learning is emerged from machine learning itself, right? So one of the techniques of machine learning, which is nothing but artificial neural networks, this deep learning concept was created. All right, so that's the reason I kept like this. Neural networks is part of your machine learning itself, and people, they developed lot of neural networks or made lots of contributions on this particular concept, and finally they brought this field which is called as deep learning. All right, yeah. So this thing many people do not know at all, but yeah, deep learning has come from machine learning, and in neural networks is one type of technique that machine learning brought up. Okay, now let us understand what is deep learning and all. See, deep learning is a branch of machine learning, as you know already, that uses ANNs or artificial neural networks with many layers to automatically learn patterns, and you can have a look at it. Of course, this and all, it might confuse you since this is a first session, but for now, it is inspired by functioning human brain. It is inspired by the structure and functioning of the human brain. See, for example, see, our human brain is made of billions of nerve cells. Billions of nerve cells. All right, or we can call it as neurons as well. Billions of neurons, and you will understand better when we go into this particular concept. So, as we have time constraint, I'll have to rush a bit. Okay. See, for example, so billions of nerve cells, and I have taken one nerve cell and I kept over here. So this is a single nerve cell. Okay. So each of the nerve cell is made up of three major components: dendrites, cell body, and then synaptic terminals. Okay. So dendrites acts as input layer for our nerve cell. Okay. So for example, at this point of time, somebody is pinching me on my right hand. Let us say somebody has pinched me on my right hand. All right. Okay. So what will be happening is that these pain signals will be carried to your brain, carried to my brain. Okay, so just ignore about this diagram and all, but you just understand it. So somebody has pinched me on my right hand, and those pain signals, right, immediately they travel towards your brain. Okay, so like this the pain signal travel. So this becomes your input layer, and once it reaches the cell body, which is the most important part, what it will do is that it will process, okay, at exactly what point that particular person has pinched you on the right hand or on the left hand or leg or chest or whatever, or head or whatever. Okay, so like that your cell body will make some kind of processing. At first it finds whether the signal it got right, that is a pain signal or happy signal or sad signal or something like that. Okay, so it will identify, it will that output to the output layer we have here. Okay, so here you will have the output like where the person has pinched you, and also whether that particular signal is a pain signal or something like that, and how long that pain was there. So all that information settled in this particular layer, in this particular layer. All right, so if you call this particular setup as natural neural network, natural neural network, people wanted to create the same neural network artificially. So can you call them as artificial neural networks? Obviously yes, right? So deep learning is that particular field, right, which uses artificial networks with many layers to understand the patterns in the data. Okay, so just like uh, people learned a lot about it, learned a lot on these nerve cells and something like that during 1943. Okay, Pitts and Munich. So those two are the researchers we had back in those days, and in 1943 they got this simple idea: can we make a machine that exactly think like a human brain? So that was the question they got, that sparkling idea they got those days, and they spent a lot of time in understanding this nerve cell mechanism, and finally they proposed this simple neural network. And as this is created artificially, they named this particular network as artificial network. Okay, so in the same way how we have on the left side like input layer, and we have something like a processing layer and something like a output layer, here also we have three kind of layers, which is one is input layer, and the second is hidden layer, and the third is output layer. Okay, so here it takes a input, and here in the hidden layer, which is nothing but your processing, same processing layer whatever I mentioned over here, that is this thing. So it will process the matter, process the inputs whatever it got, and finally it sends that as the output. Okay, we will understand how this is happening, how this is happening. Let me move to the next slide, then you can understand it. Then so I mentioned deep learning is all about artificial intelligence, right? But there is a specific meaning for the deep as well. Why this is deep, right? So here the neural network that I have is a very simple neural network, simple artificial neural network. Okay, okay. And here or here, if I add lots of processing layers like this, lots of processing layers like this, it becomes deep, deep, deeper. Okay, it becomes deep. And the study of these deep artificial neural networks is called as deep learning. I have one amazing example for you now. I'll show that to you now. All right. Yeah. Let me move to the next slide. See, this is how. This is how. So I added lots of processing layers. This is the input layer, and these are all kind of hidden layers. We call hidden layer, right? Or processing layers, and this is your output layer. Okay, that's how. That's how. So I have a very simple example to make you understand how things will work in this deep learning. All right. That particular example is over here. For example, you have a cat. You have a cat, right? You have a cat, or let's say some dog, zebra, elephant, or whatever. You are sending this particular image to your deep learning neural network. Deep learning neural network. So we want the neural network to predict what animal did I send. Okay, because I am just testing my deep learning neural network and see how it is going to observe each of the feature. So when you send this deep learning neural network to it, so what will happen here is that the first layer, it will absorb all the features like edges, corners, see edges, and then corners, right? So each of the hidden layer will absorb some kind of information like layer, right? It finds the edges. This layer, it finds a colors. Okay, and this particular layer, it finds very and finally it will say whether that particular animal is a cat or dog with some kind of confidence. So this particular model, it is saying that I am 98.7 confident that the image that you shared, it is a cat. Okay, so like this it will be connected, and this is how. See, please do not get worried on this kind of concepts. Why? Because deep learning, right? Deep learning is the foundation of generative AI. And in my the previous batches, or even in your batch, I spent some good amount of time. I spent at least some 12 to 30 on deep learning itself. Okay, because it is a foundation of generative AI. Foundation of generative AI, right? So even how the LLM like ChatGPT, how it has learned a lot of knowledge to answer your questions and all, you will learn everything from the deep learning itself. Okay, yeah, we will spend some good amount of time, right? Yeah. And applications of deep learning, if you have a look at it, we have lots of applications like computer vision, autonomous vehicles, code generation, NLP, voice synthesis, language transfer, deep fake creation, 3D object drug discovery is very important. All right. So you may not be knowing this drug discovery, people have done it or not. See, in I think last month itself, you know what people have done. So they want to create one chemical formula, right? So that chemical formula is nothing but, see, you'll have lots of marine animals near the shore, right? I mean, they will be stick to this kind of rocks, even the shells that you have, there will be some gum in between the rock and the shell, right? So people want to create this particular gum. Okay, so this is a gum, and they want to find the chemical formula how nature has created for making these shells or small aquatic animals to stick to the rocks, or what do we call them, marine some kind of animals, we call it that, right? So those kind of animals, they get stick to this kind of rocks, right? People want to create the same kind of formula, and they created this gum formula using generative AI as well, itself, generative AI. And to keep it simple, right, so you might find deep learning here. And of course, generative AI is part of deep learning itself. That's the reason I'm directly calling it as generative AI. Okay, you can just go through this particular article. You can just type it, and using artificial intelligence, right, people have created this gum formula, chemical formula. Yeah, let me just move to the next slide. So finally, the hero of this course, generative AI. See, when I talk about this generative AI, so you usually get this thing in your mind. So it is all about some creating a new content. That content may be like text, images, audio, video, code, or data, right? So your understanding is correct. However, generative AI is almost penetrating, or its applications are being spread over many of the domains. And you can have a look at this biological data sequences like drug discovery or vaccine discovery, something like that. 3D models, structured data, product designs, blueprints, something like that. Generative AI is expanding its applications. And nowadays people are directly taking movies on generative itself, complete animated movies, or animated, or the normal movies as well. Okay, sci-fi movies and all, people are creating movies on this Gen AI technology itself. Gen AI, right? Yeah. So I will be discussing about these things in detail in the coming classes. Tomorrow we will see the difference between ML, DL, and generative AI as well. Okay? Generative AI and agentic AI. What are all the difference between these four fields we have, right? So for today, hope you, as you might be having a basic understanding on this generative AI. So I'm just going a little bit further. Okay, yeah, such as text, images, audio, video, code, or data. So generative AI is that particular field which focuses more on create new content, new content. Okay, so this is the generative AI. Now, let me just take you to the next slide. So why you should learn generative AI in 2025? We are almost at the ending of 2025, and you can have a look at this particular articles. So you might be having or having a look at the news journals or articles. See the AI, right? So you can see millions of jobs, right, on AI. And so that's the thing. We have a 1 million talent gap on this. And people are still, lots of people needs to learn this particular technology. So this is one analytics that I have kept over here, just to make you understand on how many job vacancies that you can see in us in the last 4 months. I believe you can see some 80,000 vacancies, okay, on generative AI itself. Okay, and in India also you can see some 15-20,000. and it is increasing drastically each day by day. Okay, day by day it is increasing, and I need not to say these things. You can have a look at the predictions from the so and so very famous company, and you can have a look at it. And generative AI job roles and all, we have lots of generative AI job roles, right? So which are present currently, but you may not see all of them, right? Because people are not mentioning these roles in the job vacancies and all, but the tech stack what they want, right? So they are all the skills a person requires, right? So those skills, right? They are not directly calling these roles. Okay, that's the reason you are not seeing, but but whatever this designer contains, right, that will be part of your job description. And then emerging roles and all, you can have a look at it. Okay, of course from next year you can see these job roles directly. Now also you can see it, but you have to search it. Now there are people are just posting the job as generative AI directly. Okay, because the HR and all, they may not be knowing these terms. So for now they are calling all of these as a generative AI job itself. Right, now let me move to see if you're that person who do not have any idea, right? So this is the path that you should follow to understand or to learn generative AI better. Python, mathematics and statistics, machine learning, deep learning, NLP, and advanced generative AI. This starts from transformers, LLMs, and application of LLMs, LangChain, like Llama Index, Langsmith, LangGraph, right? So like this, it follows, and finally you'll learn about Agentic AI. So this is all part of your advanced generative AI concepts. Okay, and all these are your foundations. Foundations. Okay, the foundations are also very important. I was telling you, right? Generative AI, to understand this particular concept, you need to have a thorough understanding on this deep learning firstly. You may not have any idea on machine learning, it is not required, but having some basic idea on ML is also beneficial to you, but it is not required. Strictly, it is not required, but having a knowledge on this is will be a plus, a slight plus. Okay, but your complete preparation for generative AI, right? So it directly starts from deep learning and advanced generative AI. If you already know these two things, Python, mathematics and statistics. But in our program, right, in our program we are going to teach from here itself. So I know that my audience may be from non-IE or from some other technology as well. So some tester, data engineer, or 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 Power BI engineer, or Tableau, or whatever, right? So there's all data engineers and all, right? So whatever may be the domain you are currently. So if you follow the simple path, right, you can grab a job on Generative. So this particular program, whatever we have, we are going to start from here. Okay, so we expect our audience to have, or even if they have some zero knowledge AI, right, we are going to teach that from the very very beginning. Okay, so you can come up with zero knowledge on AI, and we will make you job ready by the end of the program. All right. So yeah. So you would have already contacted our admin on this, and so the same thing, no prior knowledge required, and we teach everything from zero, right? So it is a 3.5 months of training. So from Monday to Friday, your class starts at 9 p.m. IST, 9 p.m. IST, right? Monday to Friday, and 9 p.m. IST for 3.5 months. The program will run. And tomorrow I'll show the course curriculum, and also I'll show the differences between MLDL and all. And then we will discuss some other things, right? how we are going to progress in the program. Okay, so tomorrow we will meet. So then you can ask me any kind of questions and I'll be able to answer. I'll be giving you some good amount of time tomorrow and you can come up with any kind of questions. All right, so that's it from my side. Please attend the second class tomorrow at the same time and you will get some very good idea. Okay. So please unmute yourselves and you can ask me questions, but it's better you can ask me tomorrow. I'll give some good amount of time tomorrow. All right.
Good evening,
And
sir.
see, if you have any questions on the number of projects that we will cover, right? Just a second.
Okay.
See, straight away I can say we will cover some 30 plus projects in the program. Okay. See, deep learning, right? Deep learning, I'm covering this particular concept. Let us say this particular concept. I discuss some 4 projects here in deep learning, and I'll give 3 projects to you. Okay, I'll discuss on 3 projects, and I'll make some hyperparameter tuning, and you will learn it automatically. So if you calculate like that, you will find some 40 plus projects. Okay, but the projects that the major ones, if you consider, we will be covering some 30 plus projects entirely. Okay, so I'll explain you what how many projects and all we will see tomorrow.
If I am preparing AI 104 exam, how this course will help me?
Hmm. uh, yeah, could you please see one thing? So I see my voice is breaking a lot in the class. Am I correct? Sorry about it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Maybe. Uh, okay, okay. I understand that. Sorry, you should have unmuted and told that because I was completely concentrating on this and I did not. So yeah.
It was muffling in between, but we were able to understand.
Sorry.
Am I
Yeah,
audible?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If suppose I'm preparing AI 104 exam, how this course
Hmm.
will help me?
Yeah. One thing is that I would like to tell about this course features tomorrow. Let me just tell that firstly, okay? The course features and all I'll be telling tomorrow. So the recordings and all you'll be getting. So if you miss any kind of class, right, you will be surely getting the recording on that day itself. So there is no doubt about it. Even if you miss a class, you can listen to that tomorrow and come back once again. And yeah, that is totally fine. And I'll be telling about it tomorrow. And if you are concentrating on any kind of certifications on AI, right? So as we are covering everything zero, it will be surely helpful to you to get any certification. Okay, so straight away you can get it. Of course, it depends on the hard work that you are putting in, like the practice on the projects or whatever you are going to have, right? So you can apply for any kind of certifications of the program. Okay.
So, sir, just one last question from me. Will there be any study material or anything so that we can refer it after the course or something? Not the recordings.
Yes. Uh, the first question is like, see the see study materials and all. I'm just going through the chat and all. Okay, so please don't mind on that. See the study materials I'll be providing you. I'll show everything to you tomorrow, since we do not have time today, right? So that's the reason. Um, I'm just rushing up a bit. I'll be giving all the features like study material. I'll be providing interviews. I'll be providing, right? And there are lots of things to discuss. I everything over here to discuss for tomorrow's class, right? uh, so please attend the session tomorrow, and all your questions will get clarified. Okay, so this is for actually I thought of covering all this at a smaller level, but still, yeah. So attend the same link tomorrow as well, and we'll be able to cover that as well. Okay, yeah. So this is a project oriented course. Okay, this is a project oriented course. So it won't be like I'll be explaining theory to you and just leaving you. No, it won't be like that. Only for DL, only for DL, we will be spending some good amount of time for theory, because you need to have a strongest foundations. Okay, then only you can start this and all. But the all other things, right? Straight away we can start with the projects. Okay, right on the second session onwards, you will have the projects and RNN, LSTM, GRU, transformers, hugging face transformers. So everything you'll have projects immediately. But this DL will spend some good amount of time. So it is a project oriented program. Okay, project oriented program. Okay, just a moment, please. When I say the projects, what does it mean by projects? When I say project oriented and all, see, you'll have lots of exposure to the projects. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, for each and every concept that we are going to cover, right? So you'll have some very good understanding on the project. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, I feel like still my voice is breaking. Let me fix in tomorrow's class. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, you can run the code. See, for generative AI, please do not think that you need to buy a system, or you want some GPU accelerated laptops and all. You can just run the code in Google Colab, Google Colab for uh, for practicing the projects. Google Colab, right? For fine tuning and all, you will have to rent some kind of GPUs, but still it is not required. Okay, Google Colab. For Python and all, you can simply practice in Jupyter Notebook. And for deep learning projects, you will go for Google Colab. And for generative AI projects, right? Generative AI, So we will take a cloud, right? Cloud subscription like AWS or GCP, and then you can run your code here itself. Okay. So here also it is free. It is free that we will see. I'll explain you like how it will be free. The first account that you are making with your credit card or debit card, it will be free. Okay. And Google Colab, right? Obviously, it is free. You can practice your projects in Google Colab environment itself. Nothing is required. Okay. And Python and all you can make a Jupyter. So you need not to spend any amount on practicing for generative AI. Okay. So that I'll explain you when I am explaining a concept in deep learning, which is nothing but GPU. Okay. So this particular class will be like 7th or 8th class in deep learning. Then I'll be introducing to GPUs. There you will understand better. Yeah. Tomorrow I'll be giving some good amount of time for you to ask questions. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to, I feel my voice is, I feel like some continuity would have missed. So I am feeling bad about it. So let me fix it and we'll connect tomorrow at the same time. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much.